I'm RUBENSON, Director for the Amazon Appstore for Android, and appreciate the chance to tell you a little bit about the store. I'm going to start with some brief information about Amazon.com and why we actually thought it made sense for us to launch an App Store in the first place. We get that question a lot. Then try and do a brief store tour, both online and with the mobile client, if we can make Elmo work here. And then talk a little bit about benefits from a consumer perspective, obviously benefits from a developer perspective, and hopefully leave time for some Q&A. So here we go. All right, brief introduction about Amazon, maybe in a slightly different way than you've seen it before. $37 billion is the revenue that we reported for the trailing 12 months in the last quarterly sales report. That was up 39% year over year, so a good year. For the first quarter, we were actually almost $10 billion, $9.9 billion, up 36% year over year, so off to a good start for this year. 1 billion is maybe the most interesting number for this group. So back in Q2 of 2010, Jeff Bezos reported for the first time that we had sold $1 billion through mobile devices for the trailing 12 months at that time. So 1 billion on a basis of now 37 billion is significant, and 1 billion of anything is a lot. And so we bring this up to show that while we started as an online company, our customers are very rapidly moving into the mobile channel, and that's why it's a big focus for us as a company. 137 million is the number of active customers we have worldwide. We define an active customer as someone who has bought something from us in the trailing 12 months, give you a sense of scale. We sell products in more than 85 different categories. That includes both physical products, obviously, books, music, video, and lots of hard goods now, and also the digital products I'll talk about. 35 is another interesting mobile stat. We have more than 35 different Amazon mobile apps, which I'll talk about on the next slide. We've been in this business for a number of years. 8 is the number of countries that we're in, and 1 is our constant reminder that most of our services we try and tailor to an individual, to you as the customer. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. So for mobile, $1 billion as of a year ago in trailing 12-month sales. We started in mobile with mobile shopping for physical goods. Many of you, hopefully, have used the Amazon.com shopping app. First there was a mobile website, then there were mobile apps for the smartphones, then we continued to innovate with the Windows Shop app for iPad. Some of you may have seen also the Deals app that makes you aware of special deals we have going on, and also the Price Check app that you can use in store to compare pricing. So that was all on the physical goods shopping side. And then for all of our media categories, we've now started the rapid migration into the mobile channel. So Kindle is the most obvious example of that. Kindle is a hardware platform. It is a software platform. It is also a number of apps for the various smartphone operating systems so that you can buy your book once and read it anywhere across all of the different devices that you may own. MP3 first went digital with our MP3 store, and we now have MP3 apps for Android. You can use to purchase apps and also access the music you have stored in the cloud. A number of our subsidiaries have apps. We have Audible and IMDb and Zappos, all with apps for various smartphone operating systems, and then of course the App Store. So we've been doing our own development for a while. Also, one other point I should mention, I don't have a slide. Hopefully, some of you have discovered Amazon Web Services and may have seen that they recently launched mobile SDKs for both the iOS operating system and also the Android operating system that are designed to make it very easy for mobile developers in particular to tap into those services. So we have experience on the development side of mobile as well. So for all, looking back at those reasons, why do we launch an App Store? One, our customers are moving from online to mobile. They're already there, so we have to be there to serve their needs. Two, we have experience serving our customers through our own apps and also the developers through Amazon Web Services and the mobile experience there. And then finally, we think we have something to add, and that's what I'm going to talk about in the coming slides. So just quickly going to move to a demonstration, not drag this out too much, but make sure we're all on the same page. All right, homepage of Amazon.com. And you may, sorry, can we switch to, nope, we're good, okay. We're good. Yes. All right. So many of you may have noticed that we recently changed our global navigation on the left here to feature the digital categories at the top. And then you have the physical categories, our traditional businesses, down below. And so you'll see that the App Store is a new top-level category and has its own dedicated storefront. A lot of customers come to Amazon.com and simply search for something. And so something that's interesting for us to just look at, for example, is if we search for a well-known title, like Chuzzle, what you will find is that we have integrated search results. So you find results for PC games, and then you also find, in this case, the mobile app, which would take you straight into our store. So just kind of brief point that the Amazon App Store is fully integrated into the online experience. You can get to it from a number of different ways on Amazon. But if I go back to the home page, I'm just going to go in through the front door here and take a brief look at the new home page for the App Store. What you'll find is it looks a lot like any other Amazon store, and that's part of the value we think we bring. Customers know how to shop with Amazon. It's good at helping customers find the right products for them from a massive selection, and the App Store, we think, should really be built in the same mold. So over on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see that we have the browse categories. You can jump right into where you're interested from a customer's perspective. We have featured categories and popular apps in those categories, also some space to promote developers that are resonating with our customers. We have PopCap in this top left space currently. And then as you scroll down, we have some more curated content. It's both automated in some cases and then also editorial in others. This one, related to items you viewed, is a good one for us to talk about. So I mentioned that Amazon sells products in more than 85 different categories. Many of you have probably seen what we call personalization all across the site. Customers who bought this item also bought these items. Customers who looked at this item ultimately bought these items. Those are all examples of us divining your interests from things that you have purchased, things that you have rated, things that you have looked at, things that you have shopped for, and trying to present relevant products to you based on those interests and our knowledge of other customers that share those interests, right? A little bit complicated, but I think you get the idea. And that is exactly what's going on here. Because I viewed IMDb recently, it's recommending to me, not surprisingly I suppose, 2 other apps from Amazon. It's not always the case, but what I happen to be looking at. And I want to make the point here that the personalization extends beyond the apps category. So let's say, for example, that yesterday you were shopping for pots and pans in our store and bought a set of pots. You might come to the App Store the next day, online or on your mobile device, and we might recommend to you recipe apps or apps about cooking, because we know that other people that shop for pots and pans ultimately went on to buy those recipe apps, and we can use that information to serve up relevant products, right? So one of the challenges of the app space is there are lots of them out there, and we think we can help customers discover the right products by using technology like that. Bestsellers is sort of standard on the right-hand side. I will point out our free app of the day promotion. We'll talk a little bit about how we're using some of our marketing know-how, but this is an example of it. We have chosen to give a great paid app away for free every single day, partner with the developer very closely to have lots of coordinated marketing activities going on, and this is proving very successful for our customers. It's a double-digit percentage of our installed base that comes back to get this thing every single day. Fantastic way to start the virtuous cycle of installed base and all of the opportunities that come with that for existing products and also new products to the market. One other feature that I'm going to talk about is Test Drive. Test Drive is an innovation that allows customers to try a real version of the app from within their browser. So this is not a video. When I click on this Test Drive button, we are actually launching a real instance of this app on a simulator that is running on a server in Amazon Web Services. And I don't have the audio hooked up. There is audio that you can hear. And so now as a customer, I'm interacting with this app in real time in my browser using the actual app. And so the whole idea here is it's a time trial, right? It expires eventually. You can only use it on your browser. The idea is that there are lots of great apps, particularly paid apps, that customers may not understand why they should buy these things just from reading a product description or looking at a few screenshots. And so here we're actually giving customers a chance to use these things in real time, learn about them, and then hopefully head over to the right-hand side and click buy. So example of an innovative feature that we have running and something we hope to do more of in the future. All right, quickly now, I think I will switch over to the Elmo. Yep. Is that showing up okay? Okay. So just quick tour. This is a mobile client that we built running on a Galaxy tab. You can see it looks a lot like a standard Amazon app, very clean. Lots of product front and center to get customers excited. You can see that we echo the free app of the day promotion there at the top, both online and mobile. We have a top seller list. Oops, let me go back here. Top seller list that customers can look at up and down. Horizontal slider for browse through the various categories. Recommendations is another example of personalization on the mobile device. And generally it's what you'd expect. Our detail pages have multiple tabs. Apologies, it's a little slow. It's running on my MiFi here. Lots of information about the apps. All the same rich screenshots and even videos you can see carry over to the mobile client. The video would play here if I were to hit play. Reviews, recommendations, etc. The last thing I'll mention here is that when a customer shops in the Amazon App Store and buys something, they're actually buying a digital entitlement that lives in the cloud. And so the way we have this set up here, when you go to My Apps, I'm actually looking at all of my entitlements. And you can see, for example, that Adobe Air I happen to have installed on this device, and so it just says open. But 4-player Reactor or Abduction 2 are in my cloud, but not on this device. And I can hit install to bring them down. And so we really think that we are at a point now where customers have usually multiple phones and increasingly have one OS, and then soon a phone and a tablet. And it's very interesting to help customers get dispersion of the apps and games onto the devices they own, especially as post-purchase monetization activities start to become more and more of a reality, like advertising and net purchasing, etc. All right, so that's enough of the client, I think, for now. If we can switch back to the presentation, please. All right, how are we doing? Okay. Talked about this. Let's see, I think we've been through this. Benefits from a customer's perspective. So we've talked about it a little bit. First of all, we sell more than apps. We know a lot about our customers. Everything we do from a discovery perspective, we try and make personalized. We've built our business for physical goods and digital goods out of helping customers find the products that are right from them from a massive selection, and we think that works in apps. One thing we've noticed in our other businesses is that a customer's propensity to buy and even propensity to spend a little more goes up when you put the right product in front of them. Everybody wants a lower price, we all do as customers, but when you actually find the product that's right for you, you tend to be willing to buy it. And so those are those same systems that we're applying here. Many of them are automated, as you saw. And then working on innovative features like Test Drive that we hope will get customers behind the scenes of the apps, get them excited about them, and encourage them to buy. Marketing and promotional activity. Amazon, we are equal parts technology company, but also retailer. And so we have systems and processes and know-how that we've developed over the years to proactively get both physical and digital products in front of the right customers. And one of the ways that we're a little bit different in this space, we think, is that we are very excited to work with developers to use all of those channels to get the news of their apps out. And so I have some examples here from our launch with Rovio. We're talking about not only placements in the App Store, but across all of Amazon.com, SEO, SEM, emails that are targeted to customers with similar interests, our social media presence, affiliate presence, mobile advertising. We use all of these levers to communicate with the targeted customers in a proactive way to make them aware of the great new products, and we think that makes us a little bit different. Convenience and trust from a shopping experience. So obviously all purchases are with the Amazon.com account. It works with one click. Testing, we haven't talked a lot about. We are testing all of the apps before we publish them in the store. The idea is not to be prescriptive around what constitutes good game or app design. You all know that. But we do want to make sure that we work with you to make sure the apps work well on all the devices that are in our installed base, and that the customers are going to have a good experience with everything that they download. That's really the goal. And we think by doing that, we build up customer trust, which means customers will come back to us more frequently, and that's good for everybody. So that's the customer side of the equation. From developer side, we've talked about some of it. You know, one is simply a large opportunity for incremental exposure. We have a lot of traffic to our online website. We have a lot of traffic through our various mobile properties. And those customers are in a discovery and a purchase context. And so we can use that traffic and what they're doing to help pipe them over into the App Store and the apps that are relevant to them. So we think that it's not only a lot of traffic, but also incremental traffic, as we can help them discover products they wouldn't normally be looking for, searching for by name, for example. The flip side of the consumer proposition for marketing is the developer proposition. We have the automated systems. We are interested in the proactive marketing, and we've actually built a fairly large account management team to work directly with developers to figure out how we're going to market the products. Products that are live, or even we like to work with developers before products have been launched, so that we can, on day one, have a coordinated marketing campaign across all of these different channels to get the word out. And finally, low friction. You know, we recognize that there are a lot of channels out there, and for everyone, there's a little bit of incremental work, even if it's as simple as loading your APK up through our portal. We're working hard to make it as easy as possible. I think the tools are pretty simple to use, and that's also why we have a team of people is to help. If you need to pick up the phone and talk to someone, we'll answer, and we're trying to make it really easy to do business with us. And so that's where we are today. And are excited about some of the things that we have to come. Just a couple of quick case studies here, and then I'll open it up for questions. Our launch promotion was with Angry Birds Rio with Rovio. Have a couple examples of how we can promote across the channel. So this is an example of the Amazon.com gateway. So we're off the App Store. This is where everybody lands, and of course you can see the famous slingshot. Lots of great exposure there based on the online traffic. Featuring in the actual homepage of the App Store, as you would expect. Then, lots of placements across the site in other categories. So it's probably hard for you to see, but it's a little small. This is the electronics store. And in the electronics store, we actually had a big feature for the app as well, because we know that Android owners, a lot of the time, end up shopping in the electronics store. We actually even have some targeting capabilities to make sure that placements like this show for only customers that are the most interested in them. Gold Box, some of you are probably familiar with the Gold Box deal, so here we're again promoting it as a deal because it was free for that day. Here's an example of placement in our cell phone store. This is before Amazon Wireless, in addition to, I should say, and here we're in the game download store on Amazon.com. This is made for PC and Mac games, but of course it's the same customer, right? And so we can use that to market. Here's an example of a targeted email. Went out to literally millions of people that we knew had interest in gaming and Rovio products and had bought similar things in the past. Again, getting the word out. And then social media. I mentioned all of the apps that Amazon has. We were able to talk about this great deal, not just through the App Store, Facebook, and Twitter presences, but through our instant video presence, our IMDb presence, our deals presence, etc. Some of ours on the right there, and whatnot. And then just finally, a few slides to say that it's not just big developers we're working with. In fact, if you look at our free app of the day promotion and the other site placements, the vast majority of them are from small developers. So here's an example, Ocean House Media, that's got the Dr. Seuss franchise, has done a fantastic job turning these into multimedia interactive books, and have done some great promotions, primarily via email and site placements with them for Cat in the Hat and other titles, and have seen great success. When your ebook rises above Angry Birds Rio in our bestseller list, you know that you've had some good results. And so we're very excited to work with developers, both large and small. All right. So I think in the interest of time, I'm just going to kind of cut to the chase and see if we have any questions. I'll also leave this up. This is my direct email and also some channels that you can follow us on. So look forward to talking to you either this way or directly after the talk here.
Great questions. We have someone here in the back.
Hi, thanks for the talk. What's your average DAU in the actual app itself?
Sorry, our average?
DAU in your app.
Unfortunately, not something I can share. We're a little bit closed-lipped about specific numbers. What I will say is if you head out to the social sphere, then you can get a sense of what some developers have experienced as part of the free app of the day to get a sense of the volume. The other piece of data that we have shared is we had our Q1 earnings release just a couple weeks after we launched, and just a couple weeks in, we reported that we'd already sold millions of units. So those are the two volume metrics that we've been public about. The other indication you have is we launched with about 4,000 apps. We're now up to about 13,000. So the support is good, right? People are seeing results and they're coming to the store and adding their product.
Can you talk about how many times the app has been downloaded?
How many times our Appstore client?
Yeah.
Sadly, no. I wish I could, but.
Thanks.
Yep.
Another question back here.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. I just, for the heck of it, grabbed this and tried installing the store. I cannot believe how many button presses and how long it took to get it running in the first place. But beyond that, even though I'm an Amazon customer and was able to log in, it then said I couldn't get a free app, that I had to put my credit card information not in the normal spot, but in the one-click spot. What are you guys doing, if anything, to make that a little more elegant? Because just after doing it now, I have no interest. I, as a user of apps, am just going to stick with the Android marketplace until I have a feeling that that's not going to be like that.
Now that is an Amazon-style question. We have product manager openings if you're interested. So we, you're right. We would love to make it. We want to make it as easy as possible for customers to get our store, and I think it takes it's 7 clicks or something like that now. Because to get the store, you have to enable unknown sources and download it. And agree, we're working to make it better. What we've announced along those lines is a preloading distribution agreement, just with one operator so far, with Cellular South. But we're talking to all the usual suspects and trying to make it as easy as possible. So the good news is customers are succeeding in downloading it and getting it started. But we definitely can make it easier. So agree with you there. Your other question about the free app of the day, so the way that our purchasing systems work, we've basically enabled all of the store from a mobile perspective to work with one click, with the one-click settings. A large percentage of customers already have those settings queued up. If you don't, there's a little bit of a startup cost because we want to make sure that before we allow people to start actually charging their card with one click, that the settings are configured appropriately. So you're right, a little bit of friction, but we also want to make sure that people aren't buying things accidentally against the wrong credit card, et cetera. So the decision we made, but appreciate the feedback. Yep.
Other questions? All right, I guess we're done. Okay. Are you going to be able to answer questions in the back if somebody has something they want to ask publicly?
Head to the back corner there.
Okay. And thank you so much. Okay. We have one final presentation starting here as quickly as we can get it queued up. Thank you.